Hi everybody, this is Spartica. Welcome. Have you ever asked yourself how much would it cost you to become a bridge grandmaster, both in terms of time and money? Or maybe you've just asked how much will it cost me to get to the next level? The short answer is it depends on how much you play and how often you win. But we're going to see if we can do better than that. We're going to see if we can figure out exactly how much money it would cost and how many hours it would take for you to get to the next level, or if you're interested, to go all the way to grandmaster. So a few things first. I'm basing this on ACBL levels, and ACBL is American Contract Bridge League. You may or may not be a member of this, or you might be a member of another association, but if you are, this will still be similar in terms of costs and time that it will take you. The second thing to keep in mind is that in bridge, unlike chess or online gaming, your rating can only go up. If you play chess or online games and you win, your rating goes up, but if you lose, it goes down. So those are dynamic ratings, where bridge is just static, and if you win, you go up. If you lose, nothing bad happens. And so right away, that means that bridge ratings are not as accurate as chess, for example. They are a good indicator that you're a good player if you have a high rating, but it could also mean that you're an average player who's just played for 10, 20, 30 years and you've acquired a lot of master points. So you can keep this in mind when you're thinking about what it means to be a different level, and you might think that you've seen some players that are really good or not. So for the ACBL, they have a lot of different levels. When you start off as a junior master, you only need 5 master points. Most people, their first big goal is to become a life master, and you need 300 points. And grandmaster, all the way to 10,000 points, which for some. So I've got these costed out, but we're going to look at that after we look at some preliminary things. So the first thing for you to determine is, what type of games do you typically play? Do you go to clubs? Do you play online bridge at BBO or another website? Or do you play in in-person tournaments? And so more likely you play at a mix of all three. So this is calculated based on my situation. So my club charges $3.50 a game, which is very reasonable. Occasionally there's a special game, it's another $1 or $2 more, and plus there's an annual membership fee. So I've costed this out for me at $4 per club game. So next I have to fill in, so how often do I win, or how much do I win? So if you're an ACBL member playing at an ACBL club, this is very easy because they provide detailed statistics. So I know that I get exactly 0.79 master points for every game I play. So I plug this in. For you, your situation could be higher or lower, so whatever. And so you're noticing that some fields are blue here. These are ones that can be edited. So I'm going to have a link to this whole chart in the video description, and you can either download a copy or just plug in your numbers here. So the average club game takes about 2.5 hours, but I've added another hour because you typically get there 15 minutes early, and you've got travel time there and back. So I put 3.5 as for me, the average amount of hours I play in the actual bridge game and getting there. And so from this we can how much does it cost per point, which is just a simple calculation. For club games, it costs me $5.06 per every point I earn. And how many hours does it take to get a point? 4.4. And some people aren't interested in points, they just want to have fun. So I've put in a last column here, and this is just based on how much does it cost per hour of play. And so this is based on $4 per 3.5 hours. It costs $1.14 to play at a club game for me. Yours might be different. So I also play on BBO, Bridge Base Online, and I play some of the robot games, the ACBL sanctioned games, and they cost $2.09. It's for 12 boards, and I've downloaded about 30 of my games into a spreadsheet, and so I calculated that on average I win 0.46 ACBL master points per game. So I'm playing, these are ACBL sanctioned games, and but because they're with robots, they can be very quick, and so it only takes about 24 minutes per game, so that's 0.4 of an hour. If you play online games with other humans, you might want to change this to an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours, because the games will definitely be longer. And the cost per point here is pretty similar, but you'll notice that the hours per point, if I'm worried about efficiency and getting at the highest level as possible with minimal amount of time, then this is much more efficient than club games. But if you look at fun per hour, because I'm not getting a lot of time out of this, it's almost $5.23 an hour. So it just depends on what is your goal here. Maximize your points and your money, or maximize your fun. So for tournaments, in-person tournaments, every town will have 1, 2, 3, or maybe more bridge tournaments per year. And for a sectional, it can typically cost $12 to $15 a session. So if you play 2 sessions, you double that. Regionals and nationals can be more expensive. So I put the average table fee for 2 sessions at a tournament at $30, and that's for assuming you play 2 sessions a day. So how much do I win per day? Well, I looked at my last few tournaments, and I'm averaging about 8 gold points per day, and so you may again have less or more than this. And then how much does a tournament cost? Well, typically you might start at 10 in the morning, afternoon session at 1, you go to 3:30 or something like that. So including a lunch break, that's 6.5 hours, and again I've added an hour just for getting there early, travel time, and what have you. So based on my situation, playing at tournaments is the cheapest way to get points. It's pretty efficient in terms of hours, but if I'm looking at fun per play, I really enjoy tournaments. So but in terms of this, it's not nearly as cheap as it would be for the club games. And so this number, just for interest, the average cost is 4.45. I don't use this in any calculations, but you might want to know what that is for yourself. So the next thing we have to look at if we're going to really calculate things is, well, how often do I play at clubs, online, and tournaments? And so I put in, I think I play about 30% clubs, 60% online, and maybe 10% at tournaments. So I can change this, and you can change this if you play only online or only at clubs. Then you can put it to whatever rate you're playing. All you have to do is ensure that it adds up to 100. So if you're 100% at clubs, the others will be 0-0. So if you go to tournaments, and usually, and I'm talking about out-of-town tournaments, it can be quite expensive. You have to have a hotel, pay for your food, your travel, either gas money, airline, and for me, I calculate this is about $300 a day when I go out of town. And this will be factored in for some of the travel costs. And typically you'll see that I don't factor this in for lower levels. It's only when you get to higher levels that you travel more and more, because for out-of-town tournaments. Yeah. So if I'm at 2,500 ACBL master points, what do I need to get to the next level? Well, according to my little table here, it's going to take me 1,000 points. So Gold Life Master 2,500, 3,500 here. And based on my win rates and the prices I'm paying for things, this is what it's going to cost me. It's going to cost me exactly, well, pretty close to $4,620 for table fees, $7,700 for travel to tournaments. It's going to take me almost 2,000 hours. And that's a lot of time. Keep in mind that the average person works 2,000 hours a year. So this is like 1 year of full-time work if I were to do this to get to the next level in a year. but maybe you're lower, maybe you're 345. So to get to the next level, you only need 155. 345 would be just a little bit past life master, and it's going to cost you less and table fees and everything, and take 300 hours. And again, if you adjust any of these numbers, you know, say you only win 0.1 of a time, let's try that. It's going to take you a lot more hours and a lot more time to get to the next level. And typically, as you play more, your win rate is going to go up and get better. So using this table, if you plug in these numbers here, you can plug in whatever level you're at, you know, 5, 6, 6, 6, and it will tell you what you need to get the next level. It's pretty easy to calculate. Table fees, travel costs, and hours needed. And so let's go back to the original question. How much would it take me to become a grandmaster? So based on my current information, you know, I can subtract what I already have, but if I were starting from scratch, it would take 19,000 hours, which is like 9.5 years of a full-time job, $4,600 in table fees, $77,000 in travel, for a total of $123,000. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe I can afford the money, but how am I going to get this $20,000, you know, almost 20,000, 19,000 hours down to something that's manageable within my lifetime? And I might think, well, I'll have to look here. I'm going to have to stop playing at clubs, and I'm going to have to play mostly at tournaments, and forget the clubs, because they're not efficient use of my time. So, well, we've gone down to 8,000 hours, so that's pretty good. And $35,000, $7,900. So right away I can see that, okay, if I want to do this, I'm going to stop playing at clubs, and I'm just going to play online. And looking at if I want to save money, okay, well, the tournaments are cheaper, so I think, okay, it's only $375 per point here, but you forget the travel costs. So let's see, maybe I'll just change this so I'll play at 90% tournaments and only 10% online. Let's see what the effect is there. Oh, that's not quite as I had hoped. It's the hours have gone up a little bit. Table fees have gone down because we looked at those. It's cheaper for table fees, but oh my God, we're at $335,000 in travel. Like if you're going to play that much, you're going to have to travel a lot and everything. So you can look at your situation now. Hopefully I've answered the question or allowed you to answer the question for yourself on how much it will cost and how much time it would take to get to the next level. And one, you can improve your your cost by improving your wins, getting to be a better player, and you can look to maximize how you want to play and what your goals are. Do you want to just have fun? Maybe you don't need to, you're never going to get to Grand Life Master. It's up to you. So hopefully this has been helpful, and I'll thank you for watching and look forward to you checking out more of my videos, and take care and cheers.